Whimpering, he stood, taking hesitant steps until he came upon a procession of fir trees that formed an immense circle. This is our mentor sentence for the week, and let's start looking at it. So I start off by identifying the simple hidden sentence, which is just he stood with a subject of he and a predicate of stood. That's the action. And this is boring. It needs to be modified, qualified, enhanced, whatever you want to say. And how do we do this? Well, we do that with participles. What is it modifying? I know already that's modifying the he. We thinking about how he's acting, how he's feeling. And I would ask you, what are some good synonyms for this term? We could change it. We don't have to just be whimpering. And then we ask, how is he standing? Because this gets us to our other participle. And this is a participle clause. This actually has not only a subject, but also an action. And so this is a large participle clause. And let's break this participle clause down. Here I actually broke it down into the entirety of the sentence. So I found my nouns highlighted in red, my pronouns, my verbs in orange came, formed. My main predicate is that he stood. I have my prepositional phrases underlined, which goes from my preposition upon or of all the way to my noun. And that includes sometimes adjectives like fur, sometimes it's articles like a. I did forget until. Oh no, that's just a conjunction. And that is also a conjunction. So here's where I actually broke down all of the words into their little parts of speech. The next thing I wondered was figurative language, because figurative language is always helpful. And I see personification here, that the procession of fir trees, this ceremonial parade, what we would normally do as humans, we're doing it as fir trees. I also saw some weak alliteration with the F and P sound. The procession of fir trees, or he came upon a procession of fir trees that formed. Those are my 2 points of weak alliteration. Typically we look for groups of 3 to see alliteration, but you can see alliteration in this instance. And since it's 2 examples with 2 letters and they're both doubles, I thought it was a diligent or a purposeful choice. The next thing, I started to think about, why did he choose fir trees as the author? Or why did she write about fir trees? And it could just be a simple indicating setting, this is a coniferous tree, it's an evergreen. But it could also be, there's a symbolic, their power, their determination, perseverance. It's the tree of life by Christians. It's a symbol of Christmas. And the fact that it's the procession of fir trees, it really, this ceremonial parade walking around, it really emphasizes this middle one, that it was symbolic of power, determination, or perseverance. So where this comes in the story, I might be curious to see if he is really heartened by this moment, if he is fortified, the character is fortified in his mind or in his determination to do something. Then I thought about connotation. And it is, he starts off in the beginning stumbling, and he's hesitant, but he comes across this thing of accidental greatness, this symbol of power, and that possibly changes him. Lastly, I thought about the sentence types, that this is a complex sentence. We have our independent clause, he stood, and then a dependent clause beginning in this participle clause. It is a declarative sentence because it is not a question, it's not an order or command, and it's not an exclamatory. And it's also the indicative mood. I kept on going because I really wanted to analyze this sentence more than I had in the past, more than I had done others. And so I looked for some roots, and I found a couple. I would encourage you to think there's probably a few more in here that you could find. But these were the 3 that I found. We've actually done mens or menser, measure, and we have looked at pro as well. And last thing I did was I actually broke the sentence up into parts. And so again, I took my participle, whimpering, Then I took my kind of simple hidden sentence, he stood. Then I took another participle taking hesitant steps, the conjunction, which is a subordinate conjunction, until. Then, since we know this is where it becomes a clause, he came upon a procession. Then I have a prepositional phrase of fir trees, and then I have a another subordinate conjunction that formed an immense circle. So I always find that doing this helps me understand my sentence and helps me in my rewriting period. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry that I revealed everything very quickly, but I wanted to make sure this was timely and respecting your time. Yeah, see ya.